Hola, mi gente. It's been a little while since I created a video, so I decided to come on here and talk. This is important. I'm not really sure if anybody is experiencing this, but let's talk. So now, you already know every time I speak about a topic, it has a lot to do with self-love, self-first. So here we go. The thought that comes through my mind is when an older generation is merely stuck in their own ways. So if you're a younger version or a younger generation looking at the older group, and when you try to convince them of something and you realize whatever you're trying to convince them of, it's not working, they're set in their ways and all that. All right, so first of all, I gotta hold it up for my older people. Not that I'm their age, but I have experience with it. So let them be how they want to be. Okay? There should be two different types of people listening to this: the younger crew and the older crew, because I'm going to speak to both of you guys. If you're in the older crew, we get it. You've been living. You've been on this earth long enough. However, some of the ways that you guys have been living, it just seems to go against the grain of the changes that we are trying to adhere to today. And we talking about, forget about 2023. We're already in 2024. Like, let's move forward. You understand? Now, younger crew, no matter who it is, no matter how they think, you can't change nobody. Worry about yourself. Why? Because through your changes, through your goodness, through your way of being and thinking, the older crew sees that. And they will adapt. They'll give you your props. They'll give you your job well done conversations. If they're not a hater. You understand? Because I can't speak for everybody, but I will give you advice on what it is on both ends. You understand? There's no need for parents and children of older ages to go back and forth on, well, my parent is stuck in their old ways, and then the parent is like, oh, they just feel like they know it all. Actually, again, times have changed, and times will continue to change, and we're supposed to adapt to that. You understand? Not argue against each other about it. You understand? So I feel, especially in those homes where the parent and the child is living together, or the family members are living together, you know, or even if you have a older or younger neighbor and these people are set in their ways, you understand? Instead of, we got to give each other a chance. And I say this to say, let's move forward. Gonna let you older folks think and feel how you want, be how you want. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. But quite frankly, in my mind, you gotta admit, you guys were brought up and raised in a different time. And thank you for putting your work in. You understand? Thank you for being who you are, if you were strong or if you have experiences in life. You understand? However, that's not what we are with today. And there's a lot of folks who are not in the mood to deal with the way things have been, the way women have been treated, the way men just do whatever they want, the way women are trying to capitalize and become the super masculine. There's a bunch of people who are not willing to deal with that either. Like, okay, great, granted, there's a lot of women that's capitalizing on living their best lives. They're probably doing it better than their parents, better than their moms, and they're like, well, I'm not going to live how my moms live. I'm not going to let anybody take advantage of me how they took advantage of my mom, so I'm going to do it better than them. Or I was abandoned and I'm going to show this world, I'm going to, whatever. The point is that Let's do it together. Go about your business and do what you got to do for you. You understand? But don't be judgmental towards another person who is younger than you that wants to do it better than you. There should be no hate involved. There should be no eye rollings, and there should be none of that jealousy. You understand? You had your chance, and you still do. You still alive. However, you understand? And now to my younger folks, like, stop trying to convince an older person to be different. It's not going to happen. They will not make any changes unless you adhere to the changes that you need to adhere to for your life. They already lived and did what they had to do. You understand? And yes, we get it. Times are different. And there's a lot of hard-headed people in this world. And it ain't just the younger generation. I mean, it ain't just the older generation. It's also the younger generation too. You understand? There's a lot of hard-headed people here. There's more hard-headed people here than there is love. That's the part that I'm trying to get at. You understand? Whatever generation you come from, you should not be moving in the form if it has nothing to do with love. We should all be teaching each other. There's plenty of older folks that have no problem with passing a baton, but pass the baton with love and with grace, whether it's a man or a woman, and shining the light on the next generation, which could be their kids, or which could be their neighbors, or whoever. You understand? I have so many older generations that they think about the younger generations, and they twist their lips when they start thinking about the younger generation. Oh, this younger generation, they're just so angry, they're so attitude-ish. I wonder how they got there. Let's call it. I wonder how they got there. Because of the way this world is set up, because of the way the changes have not been completed, now they got to be the ones to step up and make all the changes. If they want to live a good life, if they want to live better than what you did. And I'm not speaking to older generation like I'm trying to disrespect, because I'm not. I'm speaking truth right now, because there is a lot at stake at this point. You guys see the changes. Y'all living in this world today. Y'all see everything that's going on. The way things are set up, it seems as though it was all a trap. Things were a trap. Okay, so fine. If it was a trap, let's move forward with it. Like, however you want to look at it, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or whether you're a religious person, whatever drives your way of thinking, the point is that the number one thing of this all, there has to be some form of love. There has to be some form of median that allows for the growth to continue and the changes to be made. You understand? And it has a lot to do with self-love, self-first. Because when you are loving yourself first, you know how to come to this world and utilize your body to navigate and make better decisions. You understand? There's a lot of parents out there that they did a horrible job raising their kids. You understand? And it's not that there was times when it really wasn't their fault. But they're the ones who's being blamed for their child, because they're the ones who brought the child to this world. Again, they're the ones who's being blamed for that child because they're the ones who brought the child to this world. You understand? This is going to hurt a lot of people. And it's not for me to sit here and sugarcoat what the reality is. The reality is there needs to be changes. So if your child is out here being destructive, disruptive, rude to the older generation, hello, have they gotten an ass whooping? You understand? Like, have you checked them? Did you ever put them on punishment? Did you ever put them in their place? Did you ever show them love? And I'm not challenging you as a parent. What I'm saying is the world got a hold of them. You understand? When the world gets a hold of them, they need to know how to operate in this world. Because there are so many demonic entities out here, so many jealous folks, so many people who are trying to capitalize on another person's personality. So even if you do a good job trying to raise your kids and say, I need you to be this way because the world is this way, you still got to watch them even as adults. Back in the days, everybody was like, oh, you're 18 years and older, get out the house, go live on your own. I thought that was so disgusting. Like, you don't even want to raise your child all the way. You don't want to like have no inputs. They're not adults. They're not old enough. 18 years old, they're not old enough to deal with the way this world is, with the drugs, the abusers, adult abusers. You teach them how to be the best teenagers that they can be, to go live on their own at the age of 18, but you don't teach them how to stay away from predators that'll take over their mind, their body, and their soul. You don't. You can't tell me you've prepared them after the age of 18 when you told them, get out the house. You're 21 years old now, so you should leave. You didn't prepare them for that world that's out there that will take your child and wrap them in a fucking cocoon and never let them grow up, because they will be so covered they won't even know what hit them. You understand? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that part. And you know what? God bless. Blessings to you, because it's a fucked up position to be in, because there's some parents that can't even get blamed for that. Like, especially when a child like doesn't want to listen. When a child thinks they know it all. You understand? A lot of us were like that. You understand? And so I am watching a van's back door completely open up and a bus is coming. That bus almost hit the back of this van. Thank God these city drivers know how to work it. Nothing happened, but it was just, So at the end of the day, people, we got to remember this. This is a very sensitive topic, and I don't mind keep on coming on here and keep speaking about it. But if you are not self-loving self first, if you are not understanding how you should be working in this world, because once a person hits the street at the age of 18 or 21 or et cetera, and they have not been shown how to know thyself, there's a rude world out there. It's a rude world out there. And in other countries, let me say that again. There's a rude world out there. And in other countries, they take them younger than 18, 21. All right? So, with that said, we must learn how to take the good with the bad. Nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. There's no generation better than the next. Whether you're younger, whether you're older, whether you live the traditional life, or whether you don't know scrap. There's nobody better than the next. You understand? Because all those traditional older folks, at one time they knew scrap. But they'll sit here and tell you, but I know how to survive. Excuse me. Nobody's questioning the fact that you know how to survive. Do you know how to guide your child in what we have today? Okay, you know how to take care of you. But do you know how to teach a child or teach your offspring to take care of them once they hit the streets? Do you? Have you really invested time? Have you really done that work? And again, this is not to point fingers on who's better and then who's a better parent than who's a better generation than who, because nobody is better than the next. But this topic must be spoken about, because a lot of this stuff is going on in this world. One generation thinks they're better than the next. The other generation, they can't stand the other generation. And this and that. It's just so much going on. It's a lot of nonsense, a lot of hate, a lot of jealousy, a lot of differences going on, a lot of nonsense going on. And no one is invoking love in these situations for us to draw back and really say, you know what? It's all fucked up. We were all fucked up. We were all put in a fucked up situation. Let's do better. Where are my people at that really want to do better? You understand? Where are them people at? Because you guys are the ones that I really want to talk to. I don't feel like speaking to anybody that's ignorant, anybody that want to combat what I'm saying, because I said what I said. I said what I said. Now, there's another younger generation of folks who I'm going to be honest with you. The younger generation and the younger folks are a lot more quiet. I have yet to come across a younger generation that is outrageous. Thank God. Thank goodness. I don't want to say thank God. Thank goodness. You understand? Maybe it's because I can understand them. Maybe it's because I can relate to them. You understand? Maybe it's because I feel as though I'm compassionate with them and they feel that. I'm not judgmental towards them. So if any generation, anybody doesn't want to feel that judgment from someone else, self-love, self-first teaches you to not be judgmental with yourself first. So that when you're out in the street with other people, you're not judgmental towards them. Compassionate is important. Being compassionate towards others is important. Older generations have gone through it. And yes, they do know how to survive. They really do. Like, how many people out here can really say they know how to make a fire if it's needed? If you're stuck somewhere, do you know how to create a fire? You understand? Can you survive? Can you cook? Can you clean? Can you sew? Do you know how to be domestic? Can you take care of your bills without creating a problem, without complaining? You understand? Can you take care of yourself without needing someone else to take care of you? See, there's a lot that needs to be spoken about. And a lot of people don't know how to relate because they haven't been taught. But what you don't understand, young folks, is that older generation, they learned that on their own. Why? Because they were put out there at the age of 18, forced to learn how to survive. But this ain't about surviving. This is really about self-love, self-first, understanding the crucial, important parts of yourself so that you don't have to live on survival mode your whole entire life. You understand? You definitely need to know how to brush your teeth correctly. You definitely need to learn how to take care of your body correctly. Certain places that need to be cleaned all the time. Your bed should be made every single day without missing a day. Your clothes should be clean. If you have a hole in something, either throw it away. Matter of fact, let's reverse it. Either sew it or get rid of it. You shouldn't be forcing yourself to go straight to the cleaners and let them do it. What about you doing it? And I can talk because I know how to do these things. So don't come at me if you want to come on this video and make little comments down below as if you're hurting my feelings, because truly you're just exposing who you are. None of that affects me. I make these videos because I'm trying to bring awareness to things. And at the end of the day, it's atrocious out here, the stuff that's happening. It is atrocious. Let's not even go into the topic of religion. How many religions do we have in this world? I don't have enough fingers to count. I don't have enough fingers to count how many different religions are in this world. So imagine if you have more than one religion under the same household, under the same roof. Imagine the atrociousness that comes from that. Because one person believes this way and the other person believes that way. But guess what? Guess what, y'all? What happened to love? Because supposedly, if you're such a good, righteous person, you should come from a source of love, not from a source of judgment. Again, if you're such a righteous person, you should be coming from a source of love, not a source of judgment. So when you are under the same household, damn you for judging someone else because they follow another way of living. When all of this, full circle, really is people who are trying to live their best life and be the best people that they can possibly be. Really? I can look at 10 people in the street and I see the goodness in them, because everyone has it. Now, what you do with yourself, once you start opening up your mouth and talking and making your moves with your hands and your legs and your feet, and what comes out, mentally, spiritually, emotionally from you, that's on you. You understand? But everybody on this earth has the opportunity to be their best. And I believe a lot of people who go to church, and a lot of people who go to mosque, a lot of people who go to different religious temples, and a lot of people who follow different religions, a lot of people who follow spirituality, a lot of people who follow themselves, they're really just searching for one thing. You understand? Because they're trying to be their best person. Now, what happens after they get into the religion and what they follow and the traits that they have, that's different. I can't speak for that. And if you've been guided a certain way by your parents and you're following what they demand for you to do, you got to be easy with them when you realize that some of the ways that they've taught you will not help you survive in today's world. Be easy with them because they did try their best. You let things go and you move forward, and that's the way it's supposed to be. You let things go and you move forward. You understand? Become the best version of you that you can possibly become. Enough with the judgments or screaming or hating your parents or judging your parents. That's not going to help the situation. It's not. No judgment, fear, worry, none of that helps the situation. All you got to do is reorganize, reevaluate, and move forward from there. That's what you're supposed to do. Don't include your parents. And parents, please stop being judgmental towards the kids. You understand? They're coming after so many generations who things have been tried and tested, but it's not true. And they don't feel like following certain things. And you know what? I don't blame them. Because there's a lot of people that I will not follow. Self-love, self first. That's me. You understand? And there's a lot of individuals in this world, they believe that if they follow themselves, they know how to make a better decision on their own than having someone guide them. You understand? You can sit there with yourself every single day, all day, reorganizing, remaking decisions, reevaluating. If you mess up, then you fix it from there. Versus if you mess up, you have a different entity that's gonna sit there and make you feel bad for the bullshit that you done brought to this world, or the bad decisions that you done made. Nobody wants to feel judgment from others. Nobody wants to feel that, let alone feel a judgment from their parent. Even though I'm a parent, you understand? And yes, I discipline my child. However, at the end of the day, every parent does things differently. Every parent does things differently. You don't know what kind of background they have. So you have all these mixes of different religions in this world. Different religions, different individuality types of personalities. You have so many different entities in this one world when it comes to decision making, and everybody's trying to find a balance of some sort. And you cannot find a balance if there's no love involved. You cannot find a balance if you're not coming together as a group and saying, you know what, let's unionize together. Let's come together. Let's be better than when we were before. Let's stop judging each other. Like, I'm already done with this whole judgments of black and white people. Like, I'm done with that. I'm really done with it. You understand? Because there is no love there. There must be love in a lot of decisions, and there is no love. So when there's no love, everything crumbles. You understand? I am so done with it. But you know what? I don't judge my white people off of it. I don't. And I don't judge my black people off of it. Why? Why should I? Who am I? I never lived any of that lifestyle. I didn't live any of that. So I don't know. I can't compare. I can't comprehend, but I can be compassionate in the situations. And compassion is what is needed. You understand? Instead of hatred words, jealousy words. You understand? Hate crimes and all that nonsense. Hate crimes and jealousy, that's not a balance. You don't need that to balance off in this world. You need love. And a lot of people they fear that word love like it's a weak thing. It's not. It's not a weak thing. Did you make that parking for me? Thank you. You understand? It's not a weak trait to love. But then again, so many different entities. There's so many different definitions of love. You understand? You can go to some people from back in the days, the ones who done spread the HIVs and all them traditional sex stuff. They come from, oh, love is sex. It's great. Oh, it's fun. But it's not. Love is not sex. You understand? It comes with it. It's an addition to the situations. You understand? Especially if you know what you're doing. How about that? Especially if you come with confidence. And guess where confidence comes from, people? Self-love, self first. Self-love, self first. So listen. At the end of the day, I feel like we all need to do better as a whole. And I don't expect for the whole entire world to get on, be like, oh, let's all do self-love, self first. Let's listen to this young lady and see, No, do what you want. Because I'm not here for everybody. And I'm not going to do this for you. This is going to take work. This is going to take work, y'all. This is going to take work. You're going to have to put that work in daily. But I'm going to put the message out. And for whoever's lap this falls on, let it fall on their lap. Whoever chooses to live this type of lifestyle, then so be it. You understand? I ain't here for everybody. But I know there's going to be some people that will follow and will understand and comprehend and be able to put that work in. And they need to hear it. Why? Because they need to hear someone actually tell them that this exists. Because it does exist. There is a such thing called self-love, self-first. There is a such thing called love. It starts with you. It starts with you giving yourself that love. You ain't going to be able to navigate through this world if you don't understand yourself. You understand? Self-love, self-first, to be honest with you, I feel like this needs to be taught from young. Self-love, self-first, baby, at all times. Because at the end of the day, there are changes that need to be made. And you ain't gonna get no changes through war. You will only get changes through peace. Okay? So, your girl is out. I'm leaving. I'm gonna get off this video. Self-love, self-first at all times, baby. Ciao.